Dana, aka Queen Latifah, and Missy Elliott were just as bad as Diddy, in that they were basically pimps of women. And she alleged that Missy Elliott basically ruined Tweet's life, and she'll never be the same after the treatment that Missy Elliott bestowed to her, which is very, very scary. Now, if I had to just guess and assume, I don't think that Missy Elliott is a straight woman. These have been ramblings around the industry for a while. That where there's smoke, there's fire. Somewhere in her rambling lies the truth.
Barry and relax. That's scary. Meloney P. Talk to him. Scary with Meloney P. That's scary with Meloney P. Come on. Here we go.
Welcome to another episode of the That's Scary with Meloney P podcast. I am your girl, Meloney P, and we are here for another episode, y'all. In this episode, we are talking about the most funniest thing I've seen in the month of June yet, and that is the Armand Wiggins and Jaguar Wright interview. So listen, y'all, before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, y'all. We are so close to hitting our first big goal of 1,000 subscribers, and I'm so excited for what we have in store for these last 6 months of the year. Now, make sure you also hit that link in the description and get your Nama products, y'all. Now, I am not capping with y'all. I really am not trying to sound young. When I tell you, I was literally afraid to try these products because I was thinking, okay, I'm sure they're not going to be hitting for anything, especially being that they were mailed, I have tried their products, and when I tell you, I have sent my link to everybody, and everybody I know has been ordering them, so make sure y'all don't order too much and get them sold out. But Euphoria is my freaking favorite, and the one that I had was pink lemonade, and then I think I also had a strawberry kiwi. The taste is so good, and y'all, the taste was so good, but the feeling was even better. It just really made you feel really mellow, really happy, but not too much and not too little. Euphoria was my jam, y'all. Like, I want everyone to have this feeling. I have a friend who, doesn't like things like this, but I sent this to her and she's already ordered hers, and I cannot wait for her to tell me that she's ordering her second bottle, y'all. These are the truth. You get $5 off by clicking the link, and they ship really fast. So just make sure you order those, support the show, support yourself, and please message me, whether it's email, whether it's DM, whether it's a comment, and tell me I ain't lying. Tell me I'm not lying. Like, for real, for real. All right, now that we got all that out the way, did y'all catch this episode of Armand and Jaguar Wright? Now, I'm sure you're like me and you really don't know who Jaguar Wright is. I don't know who she is. I feel like she just popped up from the ashes and has been everywhere. She's been everywhere. And, who is this lady? So I started doing a little bit of research. I know she's a singer. I know she's a singer from back in the day. And I know that she's worked with Jay-Z. She's worked with DMX. She's worked with Lauryn Hill. She's worked with a lot of different people. So I looked her up on our good old Wikipedia, and I'm going to tell you what I found. Okay, Wright was brought to the attention of hip hop via the group The Roots in 1998, which eventually led to her going on tour with them. She later appeared on MTV Unplugged as a backup singer for Jay-Z. Now, Jay-Z's mentioned a lot in this interview, and was also featured in a Coca-Cola advertisement as a part of the brand's New Soul campaign. She released 2 solo albums to date: Denials, Delusions, and Decisions in 2002, and Divorcing Neo to Marry Soul in 2005. I like that title. Wright also recorded an album titled And Your Point Is, which is was due to release in 2003 on MCA. She toured in Europe for Hezekiah for the Philly Sounds, blah, blah, blah. She had a 5-song EP. Look her up on YouTube, whatever. But she is not at this point really known for her music. She's more so known for her being kind of like a low-key Corinne Steffens kind of bootleg, right? This lady was very interesting. She's very interesting and she's very, very comical. But was the most comical was Armand Wiggins, y'all. I was looking at my notes and my first bullet point is like, what the hell? This is why I love Armand Wiggins. He keeps it a motherfucking buck. Okay. I saw somebody put in the comments, you know, I like this interview way more than her previous interviews because he held her butt to the fire. And she kind of reminds me of like that drunk person that is at a cookout and they're talking and it's like you're having to kind of listen and what they're saying isn't making sense, but then they'll say something that makes sense. And then it's like you're kind of bouncing back and forth. Armand was funny in this interview, and that's why I love this man. That's why I really, really love this man, and he just deserves all the good that comes to him in the celebrity space, y'all. He kept saying, what are you saying? What are you talking about? Like, he would look at her and be like, what are you talking about? This interview is the funniest interview ever. I'm gonna touch on some of the points that she touched on that were very interesting, and not in any specific order. So, one of the major things that she kept saying in the interview was talking about Jay-Z. So Armand asked her, you know, who do you think is next to fall in this whole, you know, industry fallout that's going on? You know, we have R. Kelly, we have Diddy, and her answer, and she stood strong in her answer, was Jay-Z. Now, see, I have a problem with that, but not really. I feel like when you think of Jay-Z now, you think of Beyonce, and Beyonce is our beloved, and you just don't want to think of Jay-Z. You know, he's this rapper that started out in the projects. He kind of had his little gangster rap, then he kind of elevated, married Beyonce. We all know his elevation. Now he's, you know, pushing Black power and all these things and Black owned businesses and stuff like that. So I find it hard to believe that he would be dumb enough to allegedly, as Jaguar stated, get Free pregnant, abuse Jaguar, all these things that she is alleging. And she's saying that Jay-Z has really done worse things than Diddy. She had smoke for Jay-Z. She said that her husband, her very first husband, works with, still to this day, Jay-Z, number one, and that he also, Jay-Z actually put him and Jaguar together and kind of facilitated this marriage and had her first husband forge her signature. It's all this drama about her music now. I really, again, have to sing Armand his praises because he was asking the questions that I feel like we all were asking. You know, where are you getting this information from? Number one. Number two, who are you for people to do all of this to? Number three, why haven't they killed you yet? They've killed everybody else. Like, so many questions. And I will say that she did dance around a lot of the questions. And every time you would start to kind of think, this bitch crazy, she would say something that made sense. As it relates to Jay-Z, she brought up about Free. Where is Free? Why can't Free be seen on TV anymore? Why can't Free have her own show anymore? Like, any of these things. And it kind of made sense. Like, where is Free? And there's been these rumors all around, like, you know, Hollywood and hip hop that, you know, Jay-Z has these children, specifically from Free, that he doesn't want anybody seeing. He don't want anybody knowing. I guess he must have bought and paid off Free and she can't post her kids. And this is all allegedly per Jaguar Wright. Now, I don't know what to believe anymore because, like I said, it would sound kind of true. Then she would say something crazy, or then she would start singing, or then she would ask about the comments in the chat. And I think Armand might have had a little something to drink and a little something to smoke because he was burning his sage. His eyes started to get real red and real low at the end of the interview. So she had a lot of smoke for Jay-Z. She alleges that Jay-Z is going to be the next person that is held to the fire. She also alleged that a lot of people are not speaking out about Diddy, specifically his friends, because they know that the tapes have been captured and taken by the feds, and they're just waiting, afraid of who's going to show up on those tapes next. Now, that makes sense because we've all said that there's been a lot of like, okay, Diddy had all these parties and he had all these celebrity friends and we ain't heard not one celebrity speak out in his favor, which is very strange. Then she brought up about Carisha and JT. That was kind of funny. She was basically saying that, you know, she don't really like Carisha. She don't like JT, which I didn't get that part. She basically was saying that she was mad at JT for not telling us the truth about Carisha and like, you know, going along with this fake relationship when Carisha's truly a sex worker. So she didn't like that. She had a lot of smoke for Mary J. Blige too. Now, unpopular opinion, I am not the biggest Mary J. Blige fan. Like, I am not a fan of Mary J. Blige's music, or her shoes. But her as a person, obviously, I don't mind. But she's not someone that I would actually play their music, you know. But she had a lot of smoke for Mary J. Blige. She said that Mary J. Blige was basically the older version of Carisha. So before there was a Carisha with Diddy, there was a Mary J. Blige with Diddy, and allegedly. And that Mary J. Blige knows all the secrets. She even helped Diddy with some of his freak offs, blah, 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 blah. The look on Armand's face, if I don't see nothing else, Lord, just let me see that. Just let me see that. Because the look on his face was giving, girl, what are you talking about? Then she drops a huge bomb with Nicki Minaj and Meg Thee Stallion. Now, I think this is where Armand was like, okay, girl, bye. Okay, girl, bye. She alleged that there is a tape circulating with Meg Thee Stallion eating the box of Nicki Minaj. And she even kind of did some reenactments of the video. And again, this is when Armand was like, if there's a video like this, like, why has it not been dropped? Like, why has it not been dropped? Which makes so much sense. Like, if there's a video that has Nicki Minaj and Meg Thee Stallion being intimate, how is it only that you and one other person has seen it or spoken out about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you would get the payday of your life, I would feel like, if you had that evidence in that video. She said that she did not believe that our girl Meg Thee Stallion really got shot and, you know, really was the victim in the Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion case, which I don't stand for. I love how Armand came right out and asked, like, do you have mental health issues? She was giving me a Iyanla Van Zant mixed with your drunk auntie. At one point in the interview, she started like crying, talking about how much she missed Free. And how Free isn't able to talk to her because I guess she's been handed over, you know, by Jay-Z. And she just starts to cry. And at that point, I'm just thinking, what the hell is Armand thinking in this moment? Like, what is Armand thinking in this moment? It was funny as hell to me. It was definitely a worth watch interview. I feel like it was very unhinged. You know, I think that Armand is kind of, you know, he's moved into a new space and he's getting everything kind of situated. And I think this was actually his very first guest in his new space. And so there were a little bit of technical difficulties, but that comes with the game of interviewing and podcasting and all those things. But I really thought it was a really great interview. You know, they were smoking, they were drinking. Her boyfriend was there. Her manager was there. She was very interested in the number of people who were watching. She was very interested in the comments and what they were saying. He asked her, you know, where did she live? And that was also something that made me be like, okay, she's not a reputable source. Because to me, if you ask me where I live and if I own a home, I'm going to tell you, yeah, I own a home. I live here. This is, whatever. I'm going to give you the details. I won't be like, that won't make me stutter or have a hiccup if you ask me where I live and if I have a place to live and if I own a home. Like, that's a yes. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when Armand asked her, are you homeless? Do you have a job? Where do you live? And she kind of, she said that she has a home that she can't live in because somebody else lives there, but she always has a condo, a home, and a hotel room all at the same time. And that's where I was like, girl. Now, she said she has some music dropping, which, I would listen to. She kind of sang some of her up and coming music in the interview, and she has a smoker's voice. Like, how people who smoke, most people who sing and are serious about their craft and artistry of singing and vocalism don't smoke, because it can be very detrimental to your vocal cords and to your singing voice. And, you can tell that she's an older lady, I'm assuming, and she has been smoking something, because you can hear the mucus and the smoke signals in her throat. But I listened to it. She has a very old school sound to her. But she was very, very, very dead set on Jay-Z being next. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think what else she was talking about. Ugh. She said that she was a sex worker herself and that she was a dominatrix. Armand asked if she had ever eaten ass, and she said that she had. She said that she was a lesbian, she was bisexual, and that she had to sleep with her probation officer or somebody just to get out. It was just all over the place. She's very entertaining. And like Armand said, she's very convicted in what she feels is true. And I feel like her truth, I think there's truth somewhere in between what she's saying. I think that in the midst of all her rambling lies, a version of the truth, I think she kind of puts her own spin on it just for relevancy. But she's definitely an entertainer. I think she should definitely kind of part from her, or like lay off a little bit the focus of her music and singing, and maybe go more so on the interview podcaster route, because I think she's a very entertaining person, and I think that she would definitely get the guest. She spoke about Queen Latifah. She spoke about Tweet, and she also spoke about Missy Elliott, and basically said that they were gay women, and that, they were all, specifically Dana, aka Queen Latifah, and Missy Elliott were just as bad as Diddy, and that they were basically pimps of women. And she alleged that Missy Elliott basically ruined Tweet's life, and she'll never be the same after the treatment that Missy Elliott bestowed to her, which is very, very scary. Now, if I had to just guess and assume, I don't think that Missy Elliott is a straight woman. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some truth in the allegations about Queen Latifah and Missy Elliott. Like, again, these have been ramblings around the industry for a while. And I think that where there's smoke, there's fire. And I think that somewhere in her rambling lies the truth. I don't know, y'all. Take a look at that interview and let me know your thoughts. Like, did you know who Jaguar was until she started making these allegations? Have you heard her music? What were your thoughts on this interview, y'all? Listen, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you order your Nama products, and I will see you in the next episode.